Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome on a Monday. It's weekend update time. And boy, what a weekend we had. Welcome to the program today on a Monday, guys. If you're out there, say hey to us. We'd love to say hi to you. Throw a little comment in the comments, if you will. Steve Downey checking in. How you doing? Peggy James, how you doing? Yes, the Warren County man in black. Yeah, well, you know. Black is, it's fitting for a fat man. It is. Chris and Kenny in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here today. Guys, if you're out there, like I said, say hey today. Johnny Fink in the house of Johnny Fink and the Intrusion. We're going to be playing Bell and the Bear this weekend, I think, on a Saturday night, I believe. We'll mention that in our Thursday show as well. Johnny, send me the info on that, if you will, and we'll get you on the list for it. Hi, Julie. Thank you for stepping into the program today. Steve Stein, Lou Ann, how are you? Good to see you. Got to see you this week a couple times. That was fun. Oh, yes, Chris. Chris is here. How you doing? Chris, it's great to see you, man. And Marie and Jimmy Kilroy. Man, you guys are all checking in. Jeremiah in the house. You're in Florida. Oh, that sounds good. Although we're having beautiful weather here. We had a beautiful weekend, fantastic weekend of live music. I probably got out to see more live music this weekend than I have in a long time, and it was so nice. Just such a great time getting out and checking out everybody and being outside for a lot of events, which were fantastic. There's Billy Sutherland. We're going to talk about him. We got a chance to check him out this weekend as well in White Knuckle Weekend. Yeah, so really, I think I took in 7 bands over the weekend, along with the Thursday night jam at Bell and the Bear as well. So, and that's just like having 30 bands in your lap real quick. So, really cool stuff. And we're just having a ball with the music here locally in the tri-state area, and we're going to chat about it. And I want to say thanks to everybody out there who participated today in a post we put up about who'd you see play out this weekend. I think we're up to 75 or 80 comments on that. Thank you for that. We appreciate that very much, and all of you chiming in and saying what's up. Yeah, Wendy, I know I'm trying to keep up with your record. How many shows have you seen this year, Wendy? This is your big year, and you said you're doing 50, or how many are you going to do? Tell me that, because these are like big shows Wendy goes to see. She's a music buff. She is, and loves her live music. Yes. Mike Sievers cracking open a cold one. There you go. Enjoying fresh cut grass. Well, glad you got the grass cut today. Welcome, everybody. This is Hall Around Town Radio, by the way, if you've never joined us before. And we're live at 5 here with Backstage Hall Pass on Monday, which we call our weekend update on Monday. And it's your number one source for live local music, news, bands, venues, and more. And thank you for showing the support to local music and the venues that bring it to you. Hollywood, how are you, man? Long time no see. Yeah. Kevin Cooper, how are you, my friend? Glad to have you. Say, Wendy has seen 48 shows, aiming for 51 by the end of this weekend. 50, wonderful. That's awesome. Way to be, Wendy. I just want the money you spend on concert tickets. But I know you get some, too, so that's good, too, because Wendy is a huge supporter. She is. Dave Worthington, his idea of music buff means music in the buff. Well, you sit around naked and listen to your Led Zeppelin or whatever you want to do, man. That's fine. Doesn't bother me in the least as long as I don't see it, you know? Yes. Yes. Jeremiah topping 80 shows this year. We've got some great music lovers on here. Wendy says they're not all big shows, but lots of local love, too. She does love the local scene as well. But she gets her big shows in. Let me get started today because I have a huge full list of what we did over the weekend, and I don't have time, unfortunately, in the show today to read all the ones that people posted earlier. But you can read. You're all educated people, and go to our page and check out that post and give some love to the bands and the venues that people mentioned in there because they really, really, really mean so much to all of us. And we've got to keep this live music scene going. And so far, we've been able to do it this summer. It's been fun. We've had plenty of time to get out there and enjoy music. And I want to always mention. I always kick off the show because we end on Thursday during the week. We don't do a Friday show anymore because it was just too narrow of a window for people to plan for their weekend. So we do the Thursday show and we throw it out there with you on who's playing out, and we get it printed online on Warren County Online News. This week's views really crashed though, and kind of worried me a little. But I got to quit getting hung up on numbers. You see everybody talking about the Facebook numbers being down and all that if they're doing live stuff. And most weeks were at least over 2,000 views on that show. But what is a view? Can anybody tell me what a view is? Because I'm telling you, they don't know. We've tried to pin that down. It's anything from 1 second, and a 1 second view is somebody swiping by, But the views were a little down. We were under 2,000 this week, which it was a beautiful weekend. Everybody doing stuff. I get it, and people probably already had plans. But let's keep the sharing going out there if you can. People keep sharing the show and get the music news out to people so they know who's playing where and what's going on here in the tri-state. Thank you, Hollywood. I appreciate that as well. Appreciate your support, my friend. And Jimmy Kilroy throwing in who he saw over the weekend. Thank you for that. Good stuff. All right, let me get going with what we do after our Thursday live show every week. If I get the opportunity and I don't have anything else going and there's no rescheduled concert dates on that I had tickets for, I am always at the Bell and the Bear. And I will tell you, if you haven't been to the Bell and the Bear, again, I'm going to highly recommend it. One of my favorite music places ever. The vibe there is just magic. It's unique. It's one of the most fun places you'll ever be to see live music. Not dogging anybody else because we have a lot of great music venues around us. I'm just telling you, Thursday nights there to me are my zen. It is the place to go and enjoy a lot of great players and an atmosphere full of people who have no egos. And I love it. I mean, they go in there, they play, they welcome anybody to the stage. They run it like a well-oiled machine. It is not an open mic night. Understand that as well. If you've never been there, open mic nights are totally different. Somebody gets up there, they play 3 of their songs, maybe a few originals, whatever. This is all mostly cover songs, but it is a jam. And the musicians that are backing up the people that get up on stage are amazing. Any night you can see the A-listers of Cincinnati music there. Johnny Fink was there a couple weeks ago. I mean, he just wows us. This guy's winning competitions and all that. So if you don't know Johnny Fink, fantastic player. And this week, some of the folks that were there, and it is hotter than hell in the studio. I just want you to know this. If you hear me going, it's like 100 degrees in here for some reason. It's just cool enough outside. The air is not kicking on. That's what's going on. But hi, Carrie. Thanks for hanging out with us on Thursday nights as well. It's great to hang out with you and listen to some of this great music. It was on fire last Thursday. And the Bell and the Bear Jam, Heather Mattingly got up there, and she's in a band called Lil Heat, and she just blew us away, as she always does. Her vocals are incredible. And Heather's one of those that she just does what she does. She's just a sweetheart. She sits in the audience, enjoys absorbing all the music all night long, gets up there, does her couple songs, and really just bangs it out. So great job, Heather Mattingly. Always a pleasure to see you there. Let me back up and say the house band, always good. And Daniel Laverde, who was the drummer there for a long time, is on tour right now with Jeff Tate, the lead singer of Queensryche formerly. So Daniel is not there. So there's been a host of drummers, and all the drummers are fantastic. And a funny thing happened while Heather was singing, though. There was no drummer. Somebody had switched out and they were waiting on somebody else to jump up there. And John Michael from Crown Watts, who's the bass player at Crown Watts, gets up there and plays the drums for Heather and just knocked it out of the park. And Carrie, the wonderful female singers surprise you. Yes, they always do. They're great with their voices. we'll talk about many of them. And Wendy, I will be there on Sunday also helping out with the Women in Rock Day fundraiser. It's going to be an amazing event at the Bell and the Bear, and we'll be live from there several times throughout the day on Haul Around Town Radio. So come on down, join us live. Wendy, if you're there, you and I get on and do something live from there. We'll talk about the event because I'm going to have a lot of the artists on throughout the day, and we're going to enjoy ourselves there from the Bell and the Bear on Sunday. And if you'd like to donate to that fundraiser, message Karis from the Bell and the Bear and send them a message and tell them you'd like to donate something to the auctions, prizes, whatever. If you want to donate a bottle of booze to give away in a booze wagon, that kind of thing, be glad to take that. So lots of fun going on there. And Kevin throwing in the names of some of the folks who were in the house band that night. And John Michael with the save, yes. Craig Comer, who is drummer for Doug Hart's band. And Joe Coles playing guitar in the house band that night, along with Jamie Combs. And just a great group of people there. So it's a wonderful thing. Jim Cuesta and his magical keyboards. Just a host of great people. And Kathy Laverde, who runs the list. If you want to come in and find the pretty lady with the red hair, she'll get you signed up to do the thing. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun there next Sunday as well. There's a big weekend, actually, at the Bell and the Bear. But I want to finish up the jam session. Let me talk about that for a minute as I take a breath. Okay. Wow, can you hear that? It's wild. Bill, thank you for throwing that in. I'll throw it up there for people to see. So, another female in the house, Chelsea Calloway. This girl's a real deal. Heather Mattingly's got a great voice. Chelsea Calloway's got a fantastic voice. Chelsea's such a sweetheart, and she sings like a bird, man. And well, I shouldn't say like a bird because sometimes she's screaming it out, and it's perfect on pitch. Wonderful singing. Got a little visit from Dave Moody, who dropped by, and that was fun. I got the chance to say hi to him. John Michael was in the house from Crown Watts. Like I said, Joe Cole's in the house. A group came up and kind of took over the stage for a few minutes called Project Doyle, and that was unique. I'd never heard them before. And Kevin, maybe you can help me out if you know them well. Is it all siblings? They all look alike. So is it a sibling group? Family group? I don't know. Project Doyle, man. And they played and wowed the crowd. The crowd loved them. And then rolled into some good stuff with Chris Reese and Chris Reese from Dat Band. And we'll talk about him more as we get into the weekend here. But Chris Reese from the Dat Band always makes it fun and got up there. And Dave Martin was back in the house. And that was a good time. And TJ Wethington and lots of others. Kevin says he thinks they're siblings, at least mostly. Met Paul Doyle and guitar at Foley's early in the year. Okay, great. Thank you for that. But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. And it was a unique change, and that's what's something about the Thursday night at Bell and the Bear is always unique is you never know what you're going to get. They joke on stage about it being life is like a box of chocolates. And that's what the jam is like, because you never know who's going to show up, who's going to play. And this week, Thursday, well, all I can say is it's going to be an A-lister group. So be there Thursday. I'll give you a little sneak peek. It's out on the web right now and it's out on the internet, but who's going to be playing? If you like the Eagles Project, you like Blackbone Cat, some of those groups, Freak Duology, if you like some of that, maybe you ought to show up on Thursday because I think it's going to be really good. Monique, I need to hear from you if you want to get on this week and talk about that. Please message me back. I sent you a message. Did you get it? All right. And we'll talk about that. I'll put that back up in just a minute. I'm looking at Lindsay's comment here. Thank you. Thank you for voting for us for Best Dayton Podcast, Haul Around Town. We appreciate that. Yeah, it's on our page, guys. If you're out there watching and you want to give us a nomination, it's not a vote. This is just a nomination to get in the voting. So if you put a nomination in, the more nominations you get, the better chance you have of making the list. We've made it the last 3 years. We've been in the top 3, and we'd appreciate it again. And always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Never been number 1. But we've been number 2 and number 3. So if you'd like to nominate us, please do. It's on our page. There's a link there. You can scroll down and find it for sure. There's a shameless plug for the River's Edge this Saturday. The Corn Stand Jam that's going on. And mental health awareness support organizations being supported there. Starts at noon, runs till 11 p.m. Thank you, Monique, for that one. All right, guys. Busy busy weekend, crazy weekend of music. Thursday, Bell and the Bear, like I said, thank you, Karis and company, for always doing a great thing for us here and making it our place to go and have some fun. And Karis is nice enough to give me a table there every week. So if you want to join me on Thursday, I'll be running solo Thursday. Mrs. H has something going on. So, yeah, I would love to have you there on Thursday. Let me know. We have a few limited seats, but we can sit you at the table for sure. Friday night. Want to talk about Friday night real quick. What's up, Chris Reese? Thank you for stopping by. Getting ready to talk about you, my friend. I talked about you already at the bell, but briefly. So Friday night took in the Michelle Robinson band. Hadn't seen Michelle in a long time. Love Michelle Robinson. I met Michelle Robinson years ago. She was in a Battle of the Bands competition that I ran, and she was awesome then and is even more polished now. High energy, no BS country music band. It is a nonstop musical journey, but it is not your tear in your beer country music. I'm just going to say that, okay? This is upbeat, fun stuff. She has opened this year, in the past couple years, actually, for Diamond Rio, Phil Vassar, Loretta Lynn, Joe DiMessina, Uncle Cracker, Maddie and Tay, Mark Chestnut. I mean, she's open for a lot of people. And Michelle and her band are awesome. Michelle on guitar and vocals, just a stellar performer up front. Brian Gilliam on guitar, Chris Sarvak on bass and vocals, Jeremy Miller on drums. And Michelle's golden voice and ability to entertain a crowd is, with her stage presence is awesome. Really, really good. So, yeah, Kara, we were there the first half and then we ran up the road. So I'm going to talk about where we went after that. But yes, it was a great night with Michelle Robinson. She's fantastic. I've got to give Chris, the bass player, props. He did a version of U2, Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. And he nailed it. He really did a good job. And I'd never really heard Chris sing. And it was fantastic. Heather's Patio, always a good time. That's where we were on Friday night for the first half of the evening with the Michelle Robinson band. And hats off to all of them. They entertained the crowd. They had the crowd party in there. And Heather's is a fun venue and just a fun night with the Michelle Robinson band. Then we bumped up the road. Thank you, Chris Reese, for that comment. And yeah, and Michelle's awesome. She's a sweetheart too. Very nice person. And just, she's very serious about her music and her career, though, doing music. She's a school counselor as by day, but by night she gets out there and she's a performer. And she's put together a great band of people who are serious. They're not party animals. I mean, they're having a good time and they're making sure the crowd has a good time. And so hats off to Michelle Robinson and company. Good stuff. Yes. Thank you, Bill, for that agreement. She's just a talent. And you guys haven't seen Michelle Robinson, go see her for sure. Check her out. Absolutely. Monique, are those the bands that are playing this weekend on your fundraiser event at River's Edge on Saturday? Is that what those are? I hope. So I bumped up the road on Friday night to Mr. Burroughs from Heather's, blocking a bridge up the street, and took in White Knuckle Weekend. And thank you, Monique. White Knuckle Weekend. Yeah. Billy Sutherland on vocals. Killing it. Brian, I think it's Lahif on guitar, Chad Robinson on bass, and Mike Sievers on drums. And a little special appearance that night by Stephanie Sutherland, who plays in Crying Out Loud. And she stepped up to the plate and sang with Billy, and they did a great job. And got a chance to hear the last half of their show. And it was a great night of music with Michelle Robinson early in White Knuckle Weekend. Now, White Knuckle Weekend, playing your classic rock tunes and taking you on a trip through the 90s. Also, which is we were sitting with a young guy, and he's a friend of ours, and a friend of a friend. Actually, I guess I could go back up and say he's the future son-in-law of some friends of ours. And he says, man, they were playing my exact playlist in my phone. And they did. And he was having the best time. And Billy's vocals are fantastic. The band's tight. And Burroughs is a tough place sometimes for a full band to play because mostly it's acoustic acts and all that. And they have to tone down in there a little bit. You can't really let too loose because of the size of the room. But Burroughs, when they have a full band, the crowd just goes crazy and they have a blast. And this crowd was up and dancing. They were having fun, interacting with the band. And I really enjoyed our time with hanging up there with White Knuckle Weekend. Don't get to see them too much. They don't play a huge schedule, but when they do, get out and check them out, guys. They're all busy fellas, but White Knuckle Weekend at Mr. Burroughs Friday night. Thank you so much, Billy, and great to see you guys. Great to see Stephanie. That was a surprise and really a lot of fun. And thanks to the band who was, Brian, Chad, and Mike. Awesome band behind Billy there on the vocals. So good times. As we move on, though, in our weekend, and like I said, we saw 7 bands this weekend, along with a lot of other things that we participated in. Anytime, Billy. We appreciate you, my friend, and you guys were fantastic. Hopefully I did you justice in a few of those pictures I got. It's tough sometimes with the lighting in the place, but got you a few photos and put them up today. They're on the page. Saturday night. I've got to get to Saturday. We went to a fundraising event, Mrs. Hall around town and I, at a place called TRI, the Therapeutic Writing Institute. It's out south of Bellbrook, Ohio, and in Sugar Creek Township, actually. The Therapeutic Writing Institute creates basically learning opportunities with horses, for individuals with physical, social, and emotional and psychological issues and challenges. And it's the coolest organization ever. You may have seen some of the bars locally running a fundraiser for them and adopting a horse and doing all that. Therapeutic Writing Institute, was founded in 1973. This has been around a long time. And there was an auction that night. There was all kinds of things. But the writing therapy program, consists of a lot of components. But it's teaching these kids with disabilities and some adults with disabilities the chance to ride a horse and relax and enjoy their time. And this is just an incredible organization. And there's so many good organizations out there to give to, but I will highly recommend you can get on their page and look it up. Therapeutic Writing Institute, TRI as it's called and known. They have donation links on their page. If you ever want to help this auction that night, they started auctioning and they'd bring out a horse and they bring out a rider who was one of the kids who are being sponsored there. And up came the signs for $5,000, $5,000. It was incredible what people were giving to this organization. And then it went to, $1,000, $2,500, $1,000 down to $500 to $250 to $100. People giving anything they could give and supporting youth and adults with disabilities. And certainly they're moving into helping veterans as well, which I'm very pleased to hear. And really some cool stuff there at the Therapeutic Writing Institute. So we got a chance to take part in that until Rust was there playing, which was a surprise to me. I didn't know they'd be there, and got a chance to see Shane and Rob and listen to their music for a while. The folks from Warp Wing, Riff Bourbon out of Northern Kentucky, and were there as well. And there was food provided. It was just an incredible evening. And Doug Sorrell, if anybody knows him, did the auctioning, and he's a hoot, and he's been auctioning for years and years. And Doug was a great auctioneer that night, and the prizes and things or the donations they were taking, they made quite a bit of money. So really a cool thing for an evening. And they did demonstrations with the kids and met a young lady, not a kid, a young lady named Chelsea, who is had a brainstem surgery and struggles a lot to even walk and that kind of thing. And she performed on the horse and showed everybody what she could do. And she was just a sweetheart to talk to. And said this is the only thing that really gives her a sense of accomplishment now with her injuries and her things that go on in her life. So really a cool organization. So thank you to the Therapeutic Writing Institute for allowing us to be there and enjoying a nice evening. And going to hear more about them from us as well, because I think we're going to be involved in some things they're going to be doing. So look forward to that. All right, then Saturday night, on to the Bell and the Bear for the DAT Band. A whole lot of funk, soul, and rock and roll, as they call themselves. This band would absolutely bring smiles and applause to your next corporate event. I sound like a commercial, I know, wedding or venue. I'm telling you. The DAT Band was fun, fantastic, good time. So that is our Saturday as we went down to the Bell and the Bear. Every danceable R&B song you can think of, plus a whole lot more. Prince, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and even a Chris Stapleton song thrown in there. kept the crowd dancing all night. Chris Reese is an amazing front man with an obvious love for what he does. He loves what he does on stage. The guitars, I mean, just Rick Dews on bass. No one more funky than Rick Dews on bass. Byron Walton and Joe Poland on horns. Byron on the trumpet. Joe on sax. Mike on guitar. Elliot, I think Mike's last name is Busmonte, I believe, on guitar. Elliot Rubin on drums. Mike Brokamp on keys normally, but Don Walter was sitting in that night. Just a killer show at the Bell and the Bear. And they are and Chris and Kenny, let me tell you, they are a fun band. They are a fun band, an incredibly fun band. Don Walter plays with Stays in Vegas. Okay. Thank you for that, Chris. So we'll give him a shameless plug on that one. But I can't tell you, I mean, the crowd at the Bell and the Bear, it's a music loving crowd to begin with, but they were up dancing. Chris had them singing along. I mean, it was a great night there. And boy, was it busy. It was fun. It was busy. And that band never disappoints. I'm telling you, every time I've seen Byron and Chris at the Bell and the Bear Jam, they have wowed me, but I never had a chance to see the full band until Saturday. And I am a fan, man. I will be back to see their show anytime I have the opportunity. It's just a whole lot of fun. And if you like to get up and dance, that's the band to go do it with. Good stuff. So big shout out to them. Hey, no problem there, Chris Reese. We love you, man, and I love what you're doing. And your passion for what you do is good. It's really good, and it oozes off that stage. And I'm glad Karis added the front addition on the stage for you guys to have room. Otherwise, I think you'd have been elbow to elbow up there. It was that many people, but really cool stuff. I'm running out of time. I've got to crank though, guys. So let me keep going here. Sunday, 3 more bands Sunday. What a whirlwind to me. I got to take the night off tonight. Oktoberfest, Dayton Art Institute. Started off at noon we started off at 10 a.m. at the Dublin pub for breakfast and then went to the Oktoberfest and took in Truck. And the boys from Truck, some of my favorite guys, Ty Richards, lead and singing and just playing guitar, not lead guitar, playing rhythm guitar and singing and just a hoot. Ty Richards is awesome. Great front man as well. Kenny Utley on guitar, Too Tall Kenny, as I like to refer to him. Nick Wheeler, our good friend Nick, on bass. Doug Werner on guitar and dobro, and Brad Powers on drums. Now, these guys play a variety of stuff. I've talked about them before, but you can see Truck. Where can you see Madonna Crazy for You in bluegrass format? They'll do it. They will. All kinds of great music. Play country music, play a little bit of rock music thrown in. They did a wonderful tribute to Dusty Hill from ZZ Top doing Tush. Nick doing vocals on that. Ty's vocals are off the hook good. And Doug Warner playing on Eastbound and Down, the old Jerry Reed song there from Smokey and the Bandit, man. Good stuff. Thank you, Nick Wheeler, for the old guy shout out he gave me as I was in the Porta-John. And about having to go to the bathroom while they were dedicating Madonna's Crazy for You, a bluegrass version to me. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, luckily no one knew me when I came out of the Porta-John. I've been a little embarrassed from that, but yeah, he was talking about old men having to go pee. It is what it is. You're drinking beer at 9:30 or 10 in the morning, Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So also thanks to Truck very much. They're hospitable guys. They came over and visited and said hi afterwards. We had a good chat with them. Got a photo or two we'll put up here later of the Truck boys. Southbound was another band that we took in. They were the middle of the day band. Alan Seals, Dave Benson, Michelle Scarpelli, Tom Scarpelli, and Jeffrey Friend on drums and vocals. So I don't know much about Southbound. I'd never heard of them, but Go Southbound on Facebook is their name. And the Southbound band, they covered artists, like Eagles, Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers, Fleetwood Mac was in there, Tom Petty. Really good stuff. They have some of their own albums. I think they have an original album out from 2015, I learned. So really good stuff with the Southbound band. Never got a chance to talk to them, just had a chance to hear them. Sat over there, drank a little German beer, had a bratwurst and some pretzel and, all the stuff you do at an Oktoberfest thing. And the end of the day, and I want to give a huge shout out to our friend Scott Elvis Miller, Carlos Miller, and the drummer whose name just slipped my mind from Spongeworthy. If anybody knows the drummer of Spongeworthy's name, please put it in the comments because it just left me like right now. They went on at 4:30, played till 7:00 when the festival shut down on Sunday. It was insane. Let me tell you, Spongeworthy, if there was a roof, they blew the roof off. Craig Carroll, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that very much. Craig Carroll, the drummer from Sponge. Like I said, if there was a roof there, it would have blown off. The dance floor that was out on the grass was packed. I mean, it was this wooden dance floor out there. I was wondering if it was going to last. I mean, there was so many people on the dance floor. And, you know, Scott's a great entertainer. Everything from You Can Call Me Al to Don't Fear the Reaper to the Backstreet Boys, Van Halen, Journey, Jay Giles, Lit, Your Own Worst Enemy, or My Own Worst Enemy, Ice Ice Baby, which he said he'd never play again. He did because the crowd went nuts over it. Shut Up and Dance With Me, Scotty rapping some songs at the end. You know, dance floor was packed with folks taking part in this beautiful day. And of course, beer, lots of it by that time. So really cool times at Dayton Art Institute Oktoberfest. They have bands all weekend long. They do have German bands back under the tent where the food area is. If you're into the German bands for the thing, we ended up getting a table early with truck and stayed at that table because it was so busy. We didn't want to give up our seats. Saw Mike Miller from formerly of Full Frontal there, and the Party Punch Band, and a bunch of people there having a good time. So a great time at Dayton Art Institute. Thank you all for participating, though, in our weekend, and thank you for putting in the comments of who you saw play out this week on our page. If you haven't done that, go put it there. If you want to give somebody a shout out, we'd appreciate that. It's read by a lot of people. It's amazing when you look at the numbers on how many people, like, let me see here. I'll click on it right now. You know, there's been like 4,000 people that have interacted with that already. So if you want to give your band a big shout out, or somebody in the music community a big shout out, or a venue, which we'd love to hear too, please do. We'd appreciate that. Tomorrow's Top 5 Tuesday here from All Around Town Radio. Join us at 5:00 for that. Also, Tuesday trivia at Mr. Burroughs Tavern. It's shaping up to be a beautiful week for trivia. If you want to join me on the patio, either place, be there. We'll be on the patio at both places and inside at Burroughs as well. Sound both outside and inside there. And then Heather's Name That Tune on Wednesday night guarantees to be busy. Get your reservations in now or you won't get a table. I'm telling you. It's going to be 79 degrees and sunny. After last week's monsoonal rains on Wednesday, it will be busy. So don't forget that. Wednesday with the band, we're going to be talking about a couple of fundraisers this weekend, including some stuff. And here, let me see if I can throw something up here real quick. Let me talk about this one just for a moment, including the charity event Women Who Rock at the Bell and the Bear on Sunday. I'll be participating in that as well with some live stuff from there. And then we may try to fit in, if we can, to get the folks from River's Edge in and talk about that Saturday fundraiser as well, the Cornstalk Jam that's happening there. So we'd love to have you as a part of that. Some pictures from our weekend here. Scott Elvis Miller, hard to see. There's the one of the ponies out at the Try event. It's like a family show here. There's Billy and Stephanie Sutherland with White Knuckle Weekend. That's a good one. And Ty Dam Richards from Truck in the house. So thank you all for watching today. Hope you had a great time with us. We had a great time with you. And we will be back tomorrow right here live from All Around Town Radio Studios. We'd love to see you if you'll stop in and join us for Top 5 Tuesday. Thanks for watching today, everybody. We'll see you next time. I'm Scott Hall, your host, signing off for now. Bye-bye.